Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the News You Can't Lose with your Loser Leaves Wrestling crew. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Moet Jazzwall. How are we doing, Moet?
Oh, I'm doing great, Red. How are you today?
We've gone over this a few times, Ed. It's a real flip of a coin, real roll of the dice. Today is bad. But it's good now.
Well, you started, fortunes have changed drastically within the last 2 minutes, right? So
yeah, that's true. Bipolar does take me for a wild ride. You're right. You're right, Mo. Before this call, I was absolutely miserable, and now I'm great again.
That's circle of life.
Welcome to the News You Can't Lose with the Loser Leaves Wrestling crew. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Moet Jazzwall. How are you doing, Moet?
Oh, I'm doing great. I guess I'm doing great, Red. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
There we go.
It's crazy how we're both doing great. We got a wild news week ahead of us, behind us. This is going to be focusing on from July 26th to today, August 1st. I wouldn't call this the headline or the most important news of the week. But Vince McMahon, he wants SummerSlam to be held at an outdoor event. He needed there to be audience participation. He really wanted an audience for SummerSlam. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. So he wants to have an outdoor show. Moa, if you were going to hold SummerSlam in an outdoor space, where would you have it?
Well, it's different with COVID. I mean, we can't really... I like the idea of doing that, but I just don't know how he would do it. So I don't know where you would do it, how it would work, you know?
Moa, a mountaintop. You find a mountaintop, put a ring there. I'm saying let's get creative with it.
Oh, man, I'm so boring. I was only thinking about stadiums. It was closed-minded, but mountains, rivers, you could go anywhere. You're right. Yeah, that makes it a lot more spooky houses. Slaughterhouses and stuff.
Yeah, because if they're going to be inside, let's create a Mortal Kombat style atmosphere, or inside, outside. You know, let's get wacky with it. Let's have it a mountaintop. Let's do it on a boat, a barge. Imagine this barge just floating out into the water, and there's just rest doing the thing. I think that'd be pretty great.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I think I read that they were thinking about a cruise for a pay-per-view. I might be wrong about that, but that would be fantastic.
We should start our own thing. Once we get, rocking and rolling, we get our 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, we get our silver plaque, we're going to start a Loser Leaves Wrestling promotion. We'll call it Loser Leaves Federation. And we'll just create our own cards and we'll do it on a boat.
We'll do a new place every single pay-per-view. Or not pay-per-view. Yeah. Every event would be in a new spot. Just to keep it spicy. Make sure we lower the attendance rate as much as we can because we're trying to be safe here. So we want to keep everyone on their toes. Only the diehard fans will know they have to take 32 paces north into the woods, sharp left at the peacock drawing carved into the tree,
I thought you would have a little peacock to just be like, stay right there. Don't move. Not until we get our audience in. Next up, we have Antonio Inoki, 77 years old. He's suffering from a rare heart condition. And I don't know, that's news, but there's nothing really to comment on it. Do you know much about Antonio Inoki?
No, I mean, I've seen a few of his American matches. I've seen some of the more famous matches. I saw the match with Muhammad Ali where he, with the crazy rule set where he just ended up just kicking his feet the entire time, which was nuts. I'm glad. I mean, Muhammad Ali would get his ass kicked if it was a real fight. So I'm glad it just ended up being that for like however many minutes, because I think it kept the mystique of, the aura of Muhammad Ali. Antonio Inoki looks like he didn't lose much from it. So.
And something that Muhammad Ali even said about that fight, he said that it took years off his career because he really did fuck up his legs.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, but it could have been a lot worse. So
Sure. It could have been a lot worse because Antonio Inoki would have murdered him. He gets him on the ground, all of his toes would be snapped.
Yeah.
Antonio Inoki would take pleasure in just twisting him off. Next up, we have... we're going to have a new women's wrestling show. It's not going to be featuring wrestling, but it's going to be featuring the careers of 7 different independent workers And it's going to be hosted by Eva Marie, former WWE personality. And this is the best part of it, Moet. The name is called Faces and Heels. What a great name.
What do you like about the name?
Because it's about women's wrestlers. Faces and heels.
Oh.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Like, that's such a great name for even a stable called Faces and Heels. Like, it says everything to me about what women's wrestling was and what it is today.
Damn, that is very good. It is so good. I don't even think they meant to do that. I think it was just one-dimensional, talking up, like breaking the business, opening it up, of baby faces and heels. But adding that specifically for a women's show, I think is exciting. Yeah, I hope they have that in mind.
I hope so too. Well, what's great about it for me is just like another way to showcase women's talent. Boy, would I have loved someone besides Eva Marie, because I really don't like her.
I don't know much about her. Yeah.
She doesn't seem to be a wrestling fan at all.
Yeah.
So I'd rather someone like that was into it, you know. Heck, one I would love, Molly Holly. Molly Holly should do everything. I'm such a Molly Holly
Yeah,
mark.
she's so positive. Yeah, I'm glad it's happening. I'm probably not going to watch it, but I'm glad it exists. I think anything that could encourage more women to get into the business in a positive way is great.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we're moving on. This is what I think is the big story of the week. This is the thing that I think a lot of people are going to talk about. Rusev says he's done with wrestling. Rusev, I think he's called Miro right now, or that's the name he's going by, Miro or Mira. Essentially, he wants to become a content creator online. He has a Twitch stream. I think he has like a YouTube channel and stuff like that. Man, what a disappointment. What do you think, Moet?
I don't believe it. I think his Twitch life is very nice right now. He's making a lot of money in a very short a period of time, which is very impressive for him to get that following on Twitch. So I think he's seeing how easy it is for him compared to wrestling. I am sure he's going to pop up in New Japan or, Impact or AEW at some point. He's too good to not go back. So I think this is just a short-term thing. I don't know. What do you think?
I hope so. I hope it's a short-term thing. I feel like he's still, right around his prime. I think he's like 35, 36. I think that's around it. And I feel like he has so much to offer with an AEW. A New Japan would be super cool. But I guess, if you don't have to take the bumps anymore and you can make a decent living on Twitch without all the travel, you get to spend time with your family, and that's awesome. But man, I'm not jealous. I'm greedy. Yeah. I'm greedy. I want it all.
He got temporary banned from Twitch just like a week ago, a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was because he was showing pictures of his wife in a bikini.
She was in it. Yeah. And she was just hanging out, and I guess I didn't know Twitch's rules were so specific. Like, I know you can't play any copyright music at all. Like, even if it's in the background accidentally or anything, or if you're playing a video game or a movie or something, it shuts down the stream. So I guess this is another issue where it just shuts down, temporary bans you. They throw those out so easily.
I had no idea. But we should get on Twitch, Moet. We should get on Twitch. We should do the multi-stream for our thing on our AEW reviews when we do them live.
Yeah, we could.
There's a multi-stream, and that's through Podbean, right?
No, we could do it through Twitch. Yeah, I've seen that. We could stream on Twitch and then jump in. We could talk about this later.
We're talking about business. We have to let them know. Moving on. Excalibur was not at AEW Dynamite this week. He showed up to the venue, but he was not held off of the show. They don't have a specific reason just yet, but it looks as though there's been a video that's resurfaced online from a Ring of Honor show in 2002, 2003, something in the early 2000s with him and Kevin Owens. I forget who they were talking about, but they were using a lot of racial slurs. Video popped up, and I think Excalibur got a lot of heat from it. Apparently, the other wrestler. Do you know who the other wrestler is?
Yeah, the Human Tornado.
Human Tornado. That's right. Apparently, the Human Tornado encouraged this type of promo. He asked them, and apparently they were not comfortable with it, but they went for it anyway. Did you hear about this?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Have you seen the video?
I have seen the video. I mean, it's a bad video for sure. Human Tornado also wants them, doesn't want them to be reprimanded or anything. I don't know how far that goes. If it's even up to him in this situation, or if it's up to the public and how the general public feels about it. I don't know. I did hear that Excalibur asked to be off AEW. It wasn't a something.
Was that the reason?
Yeah, it wasn't something like Tony Khan did or whatever. It was it came out that day of the taping. And then he asked to not be on it because he was worried it would blow up, and he didn't want to be the center of attention during the episode of people talking about why he's on there. And so because he was off, that's why it blew up, because everyone noticed he's suddenly not commentating that episode.
That's very interesting. I did not know that, and that's great to know. Wow. News you can't lose, always offering these little nuggets. Wow. We should be a one-stop shop for all news. Next up, we got the WWE Network. They're no longer offering, they're not going to go with their new tiered structure that they've been talking about for a few months. They acquired a whole bunch of indie content, indie organizations content, Progress Wrestling, Evolve, ICW, and Dragon Gate USA. Apparently, they are going to still have that content on their network, but it's not going to be for a higher charge. I'm glad, but I no longer use the network anymore. Do you have the WWE Network subscription anymore?
No, I just get it every WrestleMania just because it's just a fun weekend, no matter what it is, whatever the show is. So I only get it for that period and watch it for that 1 month, whatever's on there. So it doesn't affect me. I
kind of wanted to see that Extreme Rules Horror Night. I wanted to see that, but then after I read the reviews and I saw content, I was expecting a haunted house. When you mentioned before we should have our wrestling show in a haunted house, I thought they were going to do it similarly, that kind of. But no, they didn't. They just went with a lame wrestling show with 2 weird matches.
The Rey Mysterio eye for an eye match was pretty good. That's worth watching.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I mean, the match itself, I don't care about, but the moment when he loses his eye is great. We need more of that. He has a fake eyeball, and he gets smashed into the corner of the ring steps, and he's holding a fake eyeball going, and did you know Seth Rollins vomits? He's so disturbed by what he did to him that he pukes on the ground.
That's so. I knew about the puke, but I thought it was because I heard that they did a lot of editing to that match, post editing, where I thought they cut out the vomit. I knew he did it, but I didn't see it, so I thought they cut out the vomit, and they were supposed to use CGI for the eye. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
They were planning on doing a very grotesque, very showy CGI eye explosion, but they didn't. Right?
That would be so good with WWE's standards of terrible camera work, terrible effects. I would love to see what that looked like.
I would love to. Unfortunately, they didn't go with it. Fine. I wanted to see someone's eye explode. Real quick about eye patches in wrestling. Do you find that Jon Moxley was so much more interesting with an eye patch?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, he just looked cooler. Eye patches look cool.
And they've not used in wrestling at all. And it's very easy to gimmick where you can still see through it. Yeah. Why don't they use more eye patches?
It's probably that depth perception thing is super annoying. I'd assume I don't know. That can't be fun. That's probably the reason. I don't know.
You're no fun poet.
Yeah, that wasn't very fun at all. That's all I was saying. I'm I don't want to be that guy.
No, it's not safe, Red.
But I did love how he was so.
Let's get a skateboard with some tacks in it. That's cool.
Yeah, I did like how he was so determined to keep it alive, through he was in New Japan, and he still had the eye patch on. So every leading up to the pay-per-view, he kept it on, and that's fun.
I loved it, and I want him to have it back. We're for eye patches in wrestling. Moving on, we're gonna have a debate. I believe it's this week with Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And the secret moderator has been revealed. This is a spoiler. Just a warning. This is a spoiler. So you should mute it for the next, I don't know. We're going to talk about it for a minute, maybe. And mute right Now, the special moderator is Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff is coming back to wrestling after his hiatus, after his SmackDown tenure. Moet, do you care?
No, I don't care, Red. I don't care at all. I don't care. Do you care?
Kinda. I like it. I kind of like it. I thought it was fun news because I like Eric Bischoff as a personality. I like him as a personality. I like him on my TV. He's easy to hate. He's good on the mic. I think he'd be a fun authority figure in place of Tony Khan. You know, Tony Khan's the guy that runs the show. What if he put Eric Bischoff in place and had him be a neutral general manager? I don't want him to be a super heel manager. I don't want him to be a super, hey, look at me. Just keep him as a neutral figure that sometimes gets involved. I think that'd be a great use for Eric Bischoff.
I don't think he's capable of that. I think he has to be super heel because he's played that role his entire life or, career so far. So, and that I feel like is a problem. I don't want it. Again, I'm just worried that they're doing too much going further back in time with older things. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it, I don't want it to feel too much like WCW.
Yeah, and they do have a lot of old people right now. They have Arn Anderson threatening the Dark Order with spine busters. You have Jake the Snake just roaming around. Having Eric Bischoff there might be a little too geriatric. But you know what? I like old people. Call me crazy. I like old people.
Red, how are we going to tell the people that muted it to come back? It's come back.
We're back. Thank you so much. We're no longer doing spoilers. Another great news article this week. Not news article, news event. I don't know. Eddie Kingston is signed with AEW. He had a great match with Cody and a great promo beforehand. I think that was the thing that really brought eyeballs to him. We did a special feature. Moet designed a special feature on our YouTube about Eddie Kingston and that match specifically. How excited are you, Moet?
I'm so excited. I know I just talked about how I don't like older wrestlers coming in, but screw it. This guy deserves it so much. I think he feels universally beloved by everyone in the industry. You can't say a bad word about him. He's great. I hope he comes in. I hope he puts his skills and shares it with people. Maybe teaches other people backstage how to how to do good promos. I don't know. I think he's a great addition to AEW.
He's a great hand, and he's not a WWE wrestler, which I'm excited about. He's a veteran indie wrestler that has experience with places like Impact and such. But he's just a breath of fresh air. Real breath of fresh air. I like his body type. I like his wrestling style. I think he gave Cody the best of the open challenges that he's done so far. It's my opinion.
It's truly brilliant. That match is great. Yeah. So I'll link to the video.
Link to the video
in the top right. And I just think it's so amazing what they accomplished in 14 minutes or whatever that length was, and I can't wait to see what else he can do with a proper storyline build.
Moet, can you link things while we're talking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I'm just check it out, you could put a thing right on my hand.
Not right on your hand. No, it'd be a little bar in the top right. Hey, check this thing out. You can click it if you wanted to. Yeah.
That's very fun. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was a possibility. That's great.
Well, we're learning things.
Doing check it out up here.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
Which side would I do?
It would be the other side.
It's this side?
Way. Yeah, there you go.
Check it out. Okay. That's a fun tool. And our last, I don't even call it news. Last thing of the day. During Taz's promo on AEW Dynamite with Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, he made Brian Cage go in front of him, and he made a comment. He doesn't want to get yelled at for being in front of Brian Cage. And it turns out it was good old JR that made that comment. JR's get behind him. JR's reasoning is that Taz is too wide. And he takes up the entire damn camera. No, it's because he's wider than Brian Cage. He's just he's still a mass of a person, Do you think Taz handled that promo well? And do you think he handled that comment well?
No, I didn't handle it. I think he handled it well for Taz. I think he's fun. I love it when people call that stuff out. I mean, it's like super unprofessional, but that's what makes it fun because they don't have a script. They're just going off whatever they want to say. So he's allowed to do that, and I think I want to see more of that.
I want to see more of that, and I want to see less of him talking about his traps and his deltoids, and then asked to show his triceps, and Brian Cage is like turning around trying to get people to see him.
My question to you is, I personally don't think it was bad that he was in front and that he was taking up the attention more than Brian Cage. But what do you think? Because since they brought the FTW belt out, and it seemed like the spotlight was sort of supposed to be on Taz as like a businessman, and like Cage is like someone he's I guess acquired.
It depends on what they're going for, to be honest. If they're trying to build a Taz stable and have Taz be this big mouthpiece, sure, but Taz is getting all the attention. During those first couple interviews, Brian Cage felt like an afterthought completely. Like he felt like I was almost like, yeah, I'm just excited to see what Taz does in this match. That was Brian Cage didn't matter to me at all in those promos. And I do think some of the blame goes on Brian Cage for looking like a dumbhead, just freaking moseying around in the back, not doing anything. And I'll blame him a little bit but even when Paul Heyman does his promos with Brock, he's kind of standing either next to him, a little behind him. He's pointing at him. Taz was just taking up that entire space. His face was real in there. And I thought it was cool and I like it. But did it get Brian Cage over? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, I guess it depends on the story because I love the way he does that. He's he understands how the camera works for him. He needs to be closer because he looks intimidating. He looks like he's talking directly at you, the viewer watching at home. And I thought that was so good. I was like geeking out as like a filmmaking nerd, like, oh, he's using the whole frame up. It's perfect, and I was sort of hoping that like Brian Cage's wrestling would shine through. And so that would be the balance where like he doesn't do much in the promos, but he really kicks ass in the ring. And Taz does all the talking and takes up space and like he needs to. But that's just not the story they're doing so far. So I guess it is a bad thing for now.
Well, who knows? We're still seeing them work it out. And that's kind of the fun of AEW. It is being worked out week after week. It seems like there's some long-term building, but with Cody and Lee and Kenny Omega, there's some long-term building. But with Brian Cage right now, it seems like they're going week by week. But let's see where it goes. I'm very excited about it. Moet, that's all the news of this week. Everything else was fluff or garbage.
All right. Yay. Get rid of the garbage. We talked about. Yeah.
We should call this show Fluff and Garbage.
But is that better than News You Can't Lose?
Yeah.
I like News You Can't Lose. I like that we decided that within instantly.
Seconds. Yeah, well, that's the news. That's the news you can't lose. My name is Red Jefferson.
Hey, and my name is Moet Jaswal.
Yeah, you can check us out. First, check us Loser Lee's Wrestling on YouTube and Instagram, Loser Lee's Pod on Twitter. I am Red_Jefferson on Instagram. Moet is Moet Jaswal 1. It's just like the Mortal Kombat voice. Speaking of, they should have the Mortal Kombat voice in some form. Just I would love an indie wrestler that's just like finish him, like just over the audience, the speaker. This is running on too long. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.